Welcome back, everybody. Today's a big exciting day for us. I actually get to work on my own bus this time and I get to do something fun that I've been wanting to do for a while. I got this big giant motor going in here pretty soon, hopefully before the trip to Arizona for buses by the bridge. And this stock shifter just not doing it for me, especially with a giant motor like that. It's going to be a lot more fun with a tight shifter. This thing it's in good shape. I mean, it works fine. It's not notchy or anything, but the throw on a bus shifter is like a mile long. You know, it's like next week and last week. It's crazy. So we're going to take this off of this bus. Actually, this is off of this bus. And we're going to replace it with one of these. I don't know which one yet. This is our old school Scat T-handle shifter with the trigger reverse lockout. I've had this guy for about 10 years on a shelf, just collecting dust. I was actually waiting for my other bus, which I just sold, which is where all my high performance stuff is going to be coming from, is that project is moving into this project. These are cool, but these have a super short throw. I mean, it's like, that's it. That's first to second. It's nothing. It might be a little too tight for what I want to do with this bus, so we're going to put it in and see. We'll try it out, you know, get it adjusted and see if that's where we want to go. It's got to be better than stock though, for sure. And then this is the other one I just got. This is the bad boy right here. This is the Vintage Speed bus shifter. It's supposed to be 35% reduction in throw. So not as tight as that, which I think is like 70 or something stupid. It's way too tight, and way better than that stock shifter, which is way too loose. This one feels pretty good. A lot of people have said good things about this. I know some people that have had them that have loved them. It's stiffer, it's a little tighter, it's a little smoother, so all good things when you're talking about shifters. So we're going to put this one in and we'll check it out. This one has a weird reverse. Instead of pushing down for reverse, you pull up, and you don't even pull up really that far, and then it goes in. So might take a little getting used to. I'm going to keep the stock shifter just in case, because I may want to go back to that if it's just too much to have a different shifter in there, and then, you know, we'll sell these to somebody else or keep them for a future project. So let's get in there and we'll see about pulling a shifter out and putting these shifters in, and what do you need to do. We'll jump in there and take care of that. Alright, so here's our factory shifter. I've already pulled the rubber mat out because it's tedious and nobody wants to watch that. So we've got these two bolts on here. That's all that holds this guy in. And that's a 13 millimeter. And they can be a little bit tight. You want to be careful that you don't snap one off. Sometimes you can put a little penetrating oil on there, a little heat maybe. You can give them a tap on the housing. Make them come off a little easier. They're pretty fortunate. This bus likes to have stuff done to it, so far everything's come off without a fight. I have had them come off with a grinder and a torch before, so sometimes they get stuck. Push down on this when you're pulling these out and make it a heck of a lot easier. So spring. Here's our reverse lockout. You want to pay attention to how that thing comes off. There's like a little ramp on this side, and it goes up and to the front on the passenger side. That's your reverse lockout. This one's super grimy, so we're going to clean that up before it goes back in there. And then there's our shifter, and then that's pretty much it. Let's get the spring. just want to kind of turn it off. There's this finger here, which is the pawl that rides on that little plate. And you can kind of take that off like you're taking a key off of a key ring. And when you get to the end, it'll just snap like that. Come right off. So that's going to get cleaned up. The plate's going to get cleaned up. And I'll probably just clean the shifter up just because, and then the hole will get cleaned up. Everything will get greased, and then we'll see if we can't get one of these other shifters in there and see how they do. Alright, so we're going to start with the Scat shifter. They're pretty easy to put in. It doesn't use the little plate because it's got its own reverse lockout built in. So, let's make sure that you got the ball in the cup. Pull up on the reverse lockout little T. Make getting this front one in easier. And then get this guy in. Try to do a nice little slot on the top here. Put your socket. This has the base of this is made to fit exactly in that little dimple in the pan, so there's no really adjustment that you can make. It just kind of goes where it goes, and then you pull your little boot down. It's even got a little lip around it so you can put your rubber mat, tuck it in there if you want. 1, 2, there's neutral, 3, 4, and reverse. We've got all our gears, and it's looking good. Let's take it for a spin. Well, that was pretty good, actually. A lot better than I remember it being. It's not as tight as I thought it was gonna be. I don't really care for how it interacts with the parking brake when the parking brake's on, but I guess you're not really shifting when the parking brake's on. I just like to park with it in first gear with the brake set, just in case. Old brakes can be sort of sketchy sometimes, so that's a maybe. It's better higher up on the list than I thought it was going to be, but I want to check out this other vintage speed shifter real quick, so I'm gonna fast motion install that one, since now we know how to do it. It's basically the same thing, it's just using these longer bolts. So vintage speed gives you these, which are Allen head. They're M8 by 125 stainless Allen head bolts. I don't like them because the Allen can strip and then that shifter is in there forever. So I'm switching to these nice flange head grade 8 bolts, same size. It's an M8 by 125. They're a little bit longer than the ones that are stock, just because the base of that shifter is double thick. It's about an inch of base, plus you need about an inch of bolt. So I got a 2-inch flange bolt. They'll look okay. I mean, they might not look as good as something like that, but they're going to function a lot better, and when I want to take that shifter out, it's going to make it easier to get it out. So I'll fast motion get that in there for you, and then we'll take another ride around and we'll compare the two and see how it does. And heck, maybe I might even throw that stock one back in there. You never know. Let's check it out. Alright, so one thing that's important to note here is that this vintage speed shifter will require some adjustment. I don't know if you can see that, but you get these screws or these bolts rather, just snug. And then you want to make sure that you can hit every gear. I'm having a little trouble with first, but I think it's because I'm on the wrong side. I think I'm a little loose. If you get these just right, you kind of pick a medium point where you can hit. I can't get first. There's 3 and 4. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And reverse. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Now we can tighten this down. Good and snug, but not so tight that you strip everything out. And again, when I'm sure that I like this shifter, we'll put the anti-seize on, we'll put a big old blob of grease down there. You know, we'll get it just nice, so we don't have to mess with it anymore. This also has an adjustment here. I like mine to be a little towards me, so there's a little slot here that'll take your 13. You take a crescent wrench and you tighten those up like that. That'll keep it from twisting when you shift. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 1, 2. This is going to be a problem. I think my CB, I have to find a new home for that little guy. That'll be a project for another day. Alright, so let's go have a look at this one, and we'll see how this one shifts while we're driving around the neighborhood. I don't know, man. I kind of like that vintage speed shifter. It's pretty nice. It's beefy. It's smooth. It's a little bit tall for my tastes, honestly. When you shift it into first gear there, it's really close to that parcel tray. I mean, it's not punching it, but if you're sit back like I do when you drive the bus, it's a little bit of a reach still. You know, third gear, fourth gear, not too bad. I guess, you know, you can get around stuff like that. It's super nice. It's firm. It feels good. It feels like you want a shifter to feel. The Scat one is also really, really nice. For being such a cheap shifter, I think they're only like $100, and I think you can even get these for way less than that. If you do a little searching online. It's got kind of a cool look. This T-handle is a little weird because the shifter wants to rotate as you go through the gears, so your grip kind of changes. I'll probably change the ball, or change the handle to a ball if I run this one, which I think I'm probably going to run this one, at least for a little while. The vintage speed one, like I said, it's super smooth. I really wanted to love this the most out of all of them, and I do like it a lot. It's really nice, but it's just a little tall for my taste. It could use a little bit of shortening, and they may sell a shorter version of this. I just got a really good deal on this one from a friend, and this is just what he had, so I'm probably going to switch it out. I'll put the Scat one in, we'll cruise around like that, and then once I put that big motor in, I may switch it back. That's the beauty of having all these parts, and now we know how to do it. We know how to adjust them, we know how to put them in, so that's good. Make sure you put that blob of grease in the cup. Make sure that you put some anti-seize on the bolts. It's up to you if you get that vintage shifter, if you want to use those Allen socket heads, but I don't recommend it. Definitely want to get some nice flange, grade 8 flange bolts. They look just fine. I mean, the way that they're in there right now, they're probably going to get mostly covered anyways by that rubber mat, so that doesn't really matter. So I'll probably switch it out. I don't know, I'll play with them, we'll see. Yeah, one thing too with that I didn't show you, but you got to use their plate for the reverse lockouts. Vintage Speed sells you one with the shifter that's specifically for them, because you pull up and you don't push down, so you don't use the spring anymore that the stock one used, but you definitely got to use that plate, otherwise that thing's going to be all over the place and you'll be grinding gears and trying to hit reverse instead of second. You got to use their plate. I put it in there, I just didn't show you. I kind of forgot because I was in a hurry. So do that. You know, both good shifters. Either way you go, I don't think you can go wrong. Anything over stock, man, those stock shifters just take forever. The vintage speed one looks more stock. That's a good plus for that one. If you got a bus or a bug or a Gia that is like this, you know, it's kind of original looking, and you know, you've done a few things to it, but you want to keep that originality. Vintage Speed looks more like an original shifter, you know, than something like this. This is definitely performance, so you know, something else to think about, and I kind of like that too. So the choice is yours. The possibilities are endless, and there's more shifters out there. There's all kinds. This is just what I had laying around, so there we go. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I had fun. I love working on my cars, even when it's hot like it is tonight. It's hotter tonight than I think it was during the day. It's awful, but it's still fun. You know, I still enjoy it, and I'm glad that you guys were here with that journey with me. So subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. Check us out at volksamerica.com for your magazine needs. We got Volks America magazine. We got Volksmania magazine coming out. Volksmania is a free magazine. You just pay for shipping and you get a top quality magazine. It's got all the vendors in it that you would want to buy stuff from. They got all the things that you need. Volks America is also, it's an amazing magazine. It's full color, you know, it's glossy pages. It feels good in the hands. It's nice to go sit out in the sunshine and just read a magazine, and the feeling of the paper. It's awesome. It's super great. So get your subscriptions at volksamerica.com. Get you a magazine. Check us out at Volks America on YouTube. I'll put the link down below. We're doing video content of the magazine cars. So we've got cars, and you can hear the owners of the cars talk about them, so you can hear the passion they have for their cars. We got a few of them up there. I think we just had one go up Friday. Every Friday, actually, we do that. So those are good. Volks America on YouTube. Hit the link down there. You'll get it. Check out our friends at VW Life. They're building the Harvest Beetle right now. Man, that thing is coming along. Disc brakes, adjustable beam. It's a really nice car. So hit them, VW Life on YouTube. You can watch them build that car. Follow along on the adventures of those guys. They're always doing something fun, so definitely worth checking out. VW Life on the YouTubes. And you know, thanks for watching our channel. Subscribe to it, share it, tell a friend, all that awesome stuff. And as always, thanks for watching.